Welcome to the show. You watch UAP Troop 33. I'm John. I'm your host. Today we're going to get into it. We're going to check out some TikTok videos, some Twitter posts. Our military would take nuclear armed submarines or nuclear powered aircraft carriers out into the ocean to try to attract anomalous phenomena. So we're just gonna check out some stuff, some interesting things. So I'm glad you're with me. Stay tuned. Be right back. So I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with DMT, and there's these extended DMT states that apparently there's universities overseas that are doing these like intravenous extended DMT states where they're trying to map this other realm, this hyperdimensional DMT realm. And there's this Dr. Andrew Gallimore, and he speaks of these beings, these insectoid type beings that actually do like psychic surgery on people's minds when they're in these DMT states. Really trippy stuff. And he says that, aliens are already here, they're intelligent, and have a dark side, and they operate on us. And Dr. Andrew Gallimore, he has a PhD in biological chemistry and has studied computational neuroscience. Said he encountered these beings firsthand after being transported to a hyperdimensional world teeming with intelligent life forms. Hyperdimensional. Like uh, a lot of people report um, kind of going into when I say hyperdimensional, like geometric type of space, if you will. And it's very wild, very interesting. Um, and I just found this article to be really, really, really interesting. I wanted to share it with you guys. Gallimore added that DMT may act as a key unlocking this hidden world, right? So, like, what he's posing is that these beings are here with us. They're actually with us, but we just can't experience their dimension. And maybe DMT is the key to unlocking this dimension. And that some of these beings have a dark side. Some of them operate on us psychically when we're in these DMT states. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that is this just hallucinations, figments of people that are on a trip, or is this real? What do you guys think? Let me know.
So the Rig Veda stories of the Vamanas and the flying crafts and all that could actually have been based on real live objects, real live spaceships that
Read the Sumerian stories. What do they say? In the wake of the flood, it was so disastrous that what did the gods do? They fled the earth and went to space. It says right there in the myth itself. It says they left. They left the earth and went to the heavens because what was going on the earth was so traumatic it even freaked them out. Read the story.
The gods.
The gods. Enki and Ea and Ninana, Ninurta and the rest of them.
What did you think of Zechariah Sitchin and his fantastical translations of the Sumerian texts?
I'm dubious about some of his stuff.
Most are, right?
Yeah.
Most people who are experts in the Sumerian languages
say that,
and cuneiform
yeah,
think that he was kind of cuckoo.
Yeah.
So the Rig Veda stories of the Vamanas and the flying crafts and all that could actually have been based on real live objects, real live spaceships.
Check this out because those of you that don't know who this guy is, so this is Richard. The hell's his name, man? Why am I blanking? It's Richard Doty. And he's the guy that kind of drove Paul Benowitz crazy. Paul Benowitz was a patriot. He believed he was helping his country by reporting to this Air Force base that he was seeing these anomalous craft flying above the base. Instead of them, valuing his input and his warnings, they sent this guy, Richard Doty, to go and, do some espionage, disinformation tactics, befriend him, and drove him crazy. They actually put messages into his computer, drove the guy batshit crazy, right? So this is Richard Doty, right? And apparently, I guess he doesn't like Red Panda Koala because, the people in this that's follow this subject, we know about Richard Doty. And he's still trying to be involved with the UFO community. And I think he is still doing disinformation, running ops against us. So for those of you that don't know who this guy is, always remember that face. And my advice to you is stay as far away from him as you can.
I'm talking to people in the Legacy program who have been in the room when senior members inside the Legacy program are telling them that they will be killed if they speak out about the program. There are threats being made to people to keep this secret. I'm talking to people in the Legacy program. What do you guys
think of that? Doesn't surprise me at all.
The suggestion that is being put to me is that the Chinese have indeed made a huge advance in electrogravitic technology, and it's taken us by surprise, and that the United States has been caught asleep at the wheel. It was complacently, hubristically thinking that it was way ahead of its foreign adversaries. And in fact, the big show that took place, notably, I know it was reported mainly over New Jersey, I'm increasingly persuaded that the initial show, at least, was, in part, Chinese. And that what happened was the United States responded with technology of its own to muddy the waters. And so you've had this ridiculous situation where, if you believe it, and this is the implication not only from my Senator Mike Round's interview, but also from the interview that General Glenn Van Herk, the former head of Northcom and NORAD, did to 60 Minutes Bill Whitaker a few months ago. They basically admitted that there's someone operating with impunity over the continental United States, flying so-called drone technology. These drones are not using known propulsion systems. They're not using jets, they're not using propellers, they're not using any kind of known turbine propulsion system that emits the kind of heat that we're used to from that kind of technology. The suggestion is they're using some type of electrogravitics. And my sources are telling me that the big story that, frankly, the US doesn't want you to know about right now, the story that's not being discussed in the media, is the implications of the admissions made by General Glenn Van Herk, in particular, to 60 Minutes, which kind of went through the gate and were largely ignored by most other media, but which I think are incredibly significant.
Wow. What do you guys think of that? I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think some of that was, I think there was a little bit of everything going on with that. I don't know if it was China. Maybe. Well, that's all the footage and the new stories that are out that people are talking about right now. I figured I would get you guys up to date, share this with you. What do you guys think, man? Was the New Jersey drone incursion, was that Chinese tech? I'm starting to wonder about Ross, but here's the thing, man. Just take the data in, right? Don't commit to anything. Don't believe anything with too much conviction, because that's when you're going to be disillusioned. You're going to be disappointed. It's all data. It's all good information, even the information that's false, right? Because I believe that we're smart enough that we can put this picture together on our own. We don't need the government to tell us what's true. We don't need Ross Coulthart to tell us what's true, right? Just take it in, continue to watch my channel. We'll break this down as much as we can, and I'm not going to push anything on you. I'm not going to tell you what to believe, but I will tell you what I believe, what I think's going on. But it's all very interesting, right? So thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe, share it to a friend, share it to 2 friends. Share it with everybody you know. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.